a mission to show you one of the most stunning sunsets in the most, it's one of my favorite places in Sicily. We are in a salt pan. Okay, so we're going to be taking you around, then you're going to be seeing the sunset. But we are between the cities, the towns of Marsala and Trapani, and this is a very important part of Western Sicily where salt was extracted in an incredible way. And obviously salt was one of the most important ingredients, and it was actually even money back in the ancient days. But who cares about history? We're here to see the view. And I'm so excited. Benny and Papa Ricardo got to see this for the very first time this year, because you are going to fall in love with this place. So let's go.
It is stunning what nature and human can do. I'm going to try to explain this system. Hopefully you'll understand. So practically, to make it very short, the water from the sea comes in over there. Now, all these pans are different pools at different levels where time, the wind, and the sun create their magic. And so it's all this process where the water goes from one pan, one rectangular pool, to another through these very, very ancient. I mean, imagine that the salt has been created here since the Phoenicians, and we're talking 800 BC. I mean, not yesterday. And so all this procedure is taking water, having the sun and the air and the winds do its magic, and then it enters another pool that's a little bit more shallow, and then it enters another pool that is even more shallow, until around September the salt is created, you know, through evaporation and 1,000 little magical things that happen in nature. And when we're going to show you as we move towards, when the pools turn darker shades of pink, then that's when the magic happens, and the salt is actually hand-picked. It's just mind-blowing, and we're gonna have to come back in September to see that. So we just want to show you around because it's so beautiful. And it's been a dream of mine to come here and see the sunset. I mean, I've been dreaming, and I mean, it's so close to Rome if you think about it, because it's just an hour by plane, and it's just one of those things that you have to come to see it, because you're gonna see it, but you have to come to see it better with your own eyes.
Now this is such a cool thing, because here is nothing is high-tech here, okay? So as Benny said, the water comes from the sea into this big pool, but then it gradually, and just look, I mean, they have this tube over here with like a swirl that gradually spins, and it picks up the water and it brings it to the other pans. And what I find is very interesting is that this tube is uphill. They put it up, and so gradually, slowly, because it takes time, and you need patience, and that's why it's just such a precious ingredient. Imagine, thanks to this ingredient, you can preserve prosciutto crudo, so many ingredients. Other than adding salt, it's actually what it did to the history of Italian cuisine. But we're here for the sunset. Let's go. Okay, now we're at the tip of the salt pans. So here you've got the sea.
No swimming.
No swimming,
no
Papa.
Swimming. No,
with the beautiful islands, and on this side you have the pans. And we're going to be walking over here. Now you see what Benny was saying, you see as the pools become shallower. You see how shallow this is? With the heat.
And you can actually see the work of the wind right now
Yeah,
as we speak. Look at
that's
this.
right. And the heat and the wind, they're going to start to evaporate the water. But this is not the last pool, the last pan. Look, I'll show you.
Now, we are only in April, and so, I mean, consider that the salt is picked in September, but I just want you to see how it's already changing the color of the water. You see here, we have tones of pink already. Look at that. I mean, the colors are, I mean, look at this. It's just so beautiful. You see how it's already changing to pink? It has to get pinker, but look at that.
And you can actually see the crystals at the bottom forming, you see? I think Benny wants to go on that little mountain of salt.
There's somebody on top of it already.
Look at the color. Look at the colors of the sunset.
And so then practically in September, they pick up the salt, they pick it up, they put it in mountains. Now this is a very short version. And look behind me, there is a mountain of salt. Now obviously that is there just so that people can see what salt is. But usually after they've kept it mountain, imagine that they cover it up completely with tiles and then they keep it to rest. But this behind me is a mountain of salt.
It actually looks like snow. Look, let's get closer. Look how fascinating it is. And so at first, the crystals of salt are actually very, very big. They're very thick.
Doesn't it look like snow? Look at this. And this is so, I mean, this is hard rock. And I asked the other day, why do you have all these windmills? Because the windmill helps turn this big stone that then literally turns this into salt, into salt, crushed salt, that it's just, look at all this salt.
This way to the aperitivo, please.
Coming!
Look, we're gonna be walking right in the middle of two pools or pans.
Careful. We came here for the aperitivo at sunset.
Yes.
Not to tell them the story about the salt.
But it was interesting anyway.
Anyways, so now we're gonna head down there.
We're gonna go back over there, and Benny already ordered the red wine, and we're gonna sit and enjoy sunset with Papa Ricardo, and we still have a few minutes before the sun goes down.
Now you can notice that this is not the traditional aperitivo, but we could not have a cold spritz. So we're having a beautiful glass of local red wine. Now, I would say mission accomplished, no?
True.
But, wait, we want you to come enjoy the sunset with us. So watch this show that nature has put on.